My name is Maciej Binkowski. I'm lead game designer for Dying Light.
How do you feel about the response to Dying Light and the feedback you had from the game?
It's absolutely positive. I think it's even surprising that it was so good. We have amazing community and we've got so much positive energy from people that it really gives us wings, and it really makes us feel proud about the game. So guys, thank you so much.
So was developing the following as a big expansion, was that always part of the plan, or was it something that came later when you saw how positive the response was to the game?
Kind of both. So when we worked on Dying Light, we were, when you design a game, you kind of have to think, if the game is successful, you want to leave certain gates open. But then after the game was released, we looked very closely to the community, like, so what do you guys like? What do you guys hate? Is there anything that you think is missing? Is there anything in particular that you would like to see in there? And at the same time, we were thinking, okay, we have the slums and then we have the old town with the narrow spaces. Like, what kind of fresh experience could we bring into that? Yeah. And that's pretty much how we ended up with the following.
Did you always know that it was going to be bigger than the slums and old town combined, or did it kind of keep getting bigger and bigger as you were developing?
Yeah, it kind of grew naturally. So we wanted to have a completely different vibe to the area. So we moved from inside of the city walls, went outside. And now that we're in this countryside, suddenly it just naturally grew really, really big. And since the space is big, we need an effective way to traverse. So then it was like an obvious choice, like, all right, we're gonna need a vehicle. Was
it a bit of a challenge putting vehicles into the game? Because obviously the original game wasn't built for vehicles at all, so.
Yeah, well, actually we had a vehicle at some point, but then, like you said, like it doesn't really seems like there's a place for the vehicle. Yeah. So we had a moment where we okay, there's no place for the vehicle, so let's clear the streets so you can drive. But then when you started driving, why would I need parkour? And we wanted to focus on the parkour, so we cluttered the streets again because. But now it's something fresh. So you go inside of the city, you have all the parkour action. You go outside, you have big open spaces. But at the same time, we're not really going far away from the parkour. So you use the car to traverse around the area. It's actually fully customizable, so you can put a lot of cool stuff in it. Like you want spikes on the car, that's no problem. You want to put an electrified cage. But then when you get to a number of locations, they're 100% parkour based. Dying Light is an open world game, so we really stay true to you play it your way.
Yeah, absolutely. Presumably you've had to build all new assets because it's a completely new environment in the countryside. Was there ever a point where you were doing that, you were building it, you thought, we could have made this a sequel to Dying Light?
I don't think so. It's a really big expansion, and we really hope that people are going to enjoy it because we're trying to put as much value in it as possible. But we have even bigger plans for a sequel. And that's all I can say. Yeah. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, Dying Light is successful, so it's a no-brainer that we should do a sequel, but I need to shut up now.
So, I mean, I guess the following felt like fan service then, because you told me earlier that it's free with a season pass.
Oh, absolutely. And not only that, we're also looking closely what people want. And one of the something that people ask most was the crossbow. So we're very happy to introduce crossbow into the game. We were also asked to bring more variety with the firearms, so we're bringing that too. You could play the SMG. That's only one of the fire weapons. Right. And yes, we sold a lot of season passes, and this is really a trust thing. We want to say thank you because you guys put a lot of trust into us. You paid the money up front, and you trust that we're going to deliver something awesome. So guys, thank you so much. The following expansion is going to be completely free for all the owners of the season pass.
Are there any new enemies in this expansion? Because you saw obviously a lot of the zombies. Are there any new enemies at all?
We're adapting all of them because since you're since you're much more mobile and faster, we have to adapt how the enemies behave so that can still be challenging. So you can expect new threats, if I can put it that way.
So the hunters are still out at night after you as well?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So you said you can put UV lights on your buggy as well?
One of the modifications that you put on a car is actually the UV light, so you can turn it into kind of a mobile safe zone.
I saw that my trust level was going up as well at some point. Could you explain that mechanic a bit more? Because that's new as well, right?
Yeah, so this is something that we're experimenting with, and this is something because we're digging really into like what it means to be an open world game. And one of the key things is like we want you to be able to play your way. Yeah. So in order to push the story forward, you need to gain trust of this mysterious group. But we don't want to go the old way, like it's a quest chain that you go from point A to point B. Instead, this time around, we're giving you a number of activities that you can do that's going to get you trust of that group. But it's solely up your choice. It's your choice to decide which ones you want to do.
So what happens if that trust level goes up? Do you get like perks from that group?
Yeah, so at first they're really closed, but then when you start getting trust, they start to open up, they start talking to you, you'll be able to get new quests. If it's a merchant that likes you, he might offer you new gear, and so on and so on. So the more the trust you get, the more opportunities, the further you get into the inner circle and you're able to discover what is it really about.
One final question then. What would be your personal aspirations for a Dying Light sequel? What would you personally like to bring to the table?
So I would hope that we can figure out all the little inconsistencies that we have and make sure that all the elements, next time that we make another game, that all the elements are really well polished and they really fit together. So I would really love to take the experience to the next level. You know, with every game, we're learning more and more about why stuff works. And of course, we want to capitalize on all the things that we already done. So parkour and the whole mobility. Yeah, I think that's one of the directions we want to go.
I mean, is Dying Light kind of the main franchise that Techland has now? Because you had Hellraid as well, right? Is Dying Light kind of the core of what you're working on at Techland?
Very good question. What I can tell you is that at this moment, my team is focusing 100% on delivering the following. What's next? There's a lot of exciting things going on in the office, but you know that's a song of the future. So for now, we're working on the following. So Dying Light, the following expansion is coming soon, very, very soon. Stay tuned.